Hi, everyone, and welcome to Docue Digest, where we break down a particular legal document into bite sized pieces. On the menu today are master services agreements and statements of work. We're going to delve into what they are, when they should be used, and the advantages of using them to fast track your projects. I'm Ashley Evans, legal counsel at Docue UK, and joining me today is my colleague Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather Stark, Head of Legal at Docue UK. So, Ashley, let's start with the basics. What is a Master Services Agreement?
So, a Master Services Agreement, or MSA as it's commonly known as, is a contract that establishes the terms and conditions governing a business relationship between two parties. It provides the legal framework for all transactions and projects during their working relationship, and it establishes clear expectations about how the parties will work together in future. So, for this reason, an MSA is a really great option where there's going to be an ongoing relationship between two parties rather than a one off transaction.
Okay. So, why would the parties opt for an MSA instead of negotiating an individual services agreement for each transaction?
Well, an MSA simplifies the process if you'll be engaging in multiple services or projects with another party. So, imagine you're working with a client that you plan to do a lot of business with in the near future. Now, instead of renegotiating the legal terms every time you want to start a new project, an MSA will allow you to set a foundational framework at the very beginning of the relationship that can be applied to all future projects or transactions with that client.
That's right. That's why it's often referred to as a framework services agreement, as it puts a legal framework in place to ensure that all future deals between the parties run smoothly and can be started quickly. It's essentially a ticket to do more business with a company, as once it's signed, all you need is a statement of work to get you started on a new project or transaction.
Yes, exactly. And unlike a standalone services agreement, an MSA doesn't go into detail about the exact product or service that's being delivered. Instead, the MSA contains the wider legal terms that govern the relationship. So it covers things like the parties' general responsibilities, liability, payment terms, intellectual property rights, indemnities, warranties, and confidentiality. So once these terms are agreed and signed, when it comes to starting each new piece of work, all you need to do is agree on the commercial details of each project using a statement of work.
That makes sense. So, what exactly is a statement of work and how does it work together with an MSA?
Great question. So, a statement of work is a legally binding document that outlines the specific details of the services that will be provided from one party to another. So, the statement of work usually includes important project related details like the scope of work, specific roles and obligations, any dates, milestones, deliverables, hourly rates or supply costs, and generally any key terms that are relevant to the services. So, the terms of the MSA apply to each statement of work, but each statement of work will have its own unique terms that sit on top of the legal framework set by the MSA.
That's right. Although each contract is unique, the MSA and statement of work fit together to create a complete agreement between two businesses. So, let's say, for example, you're a supplier and you've been in discussions with a potential client about engaging in several projects with them. At the beginning of the relationship, the MSA terms will be agreed. And then once the MSA is signed, you'll only need to agree to the commercial terms in each statement of work to start a new project.
Yes, so it's not only a more efficient way of doing business, but it will also save you money too, as each statement of work will generally only contain project specific information, which will be much quicker to review and finalise, saving you time and money on resources that can be spent elsewhere in your business.
Exactly. It can also reduce business risks, as the MSA will often include terms that address what happens if things go wrong. So you can agree things like liability, warranties, indemnities, and the process for resolving disputes if there are any. By proactively addressing the risks in the MSA at the start, you can then turn all your attention to delivering the services, knowing that you have the legal framework of the MSA supporting each statement of work.
It sounds like the MSA is quite a technical document, as it mostly contains legal terms. Do you have to be a lawyer to create your own MSA?
No, Docue has a fully customizable master services agreement template that can be used by anyone. All you need to do is input the party details and answer a series of questions to tailor the agreement to your business with terms that are in your favour.
That's brilliant. And once the MSA has been signed, you can use Docu's statement of work template to agree on the commercial details for each new project with that business. This ensures that you stay consistent with your documents across all of your projects, and they can be stored safely and managed easily in Docue Drive.
Sounds great. Thanks for listening, everyone.